Hello, hello, family. Welcome to He Say, She Say Live. I am your host and founder of Law for Love, the most special place in the legal system in Atlanta. And here to talk about relationships, love, what works, what doesn't work. And, I'm going to go ahead and just be very, very forthcoming with you. If you are into magic, potions, love spells, all of that stuff, then I want you to know that tonight I really hope to offend any belief that you have in these practices. And my goal is that by the end of this legal training, right, you will understand exactly why those things are illegal and why they can never lead to true and lasting love. So with that, um, y'all ready to learn some law together? I really, really love um, taking the understanding from my training as a lawyer and using that training and understanding relationships and really understanding how we interact with each other from a legal paradigm, from a legal understanding is extremely powerful. That's why I am teaching you law tonight. So welcome in. And I'm going to go ahead and get started with the first law, the law of free will. Now, the law of free will is evident in creation. So, man was created by the Most High and then given his own mind, given his own consciousness. In fact, man was given his own choice, and this was by design. Why? Well, the Most High created man so that he would create an object of his own affection. And without giving man free will, there would really be no test of whether or not man would choose to love his creator back. If we were made to love the Most High, it wouldn't be love at all. It would actually just be, we would be robots, we would be automatons. And so the law of free will is an extremely important law. In fact, I call it the first law of divine creation because this is a exclusive right, an exclusive dominion that each and every human being has. And so, what we want to do, we want to be very, very respectful of the law of free will. And the way that I like to put it, and you'll hear me say it 1,000 times, if your creator himself will not force you to do what he wants you to do, because he knows what's best for us. He's established laws and guidelines for us. But he doesn't come in and force your hand. He doesn't come in and slap the spoon away when you're going after the tub of ice cream and it's really going to hurt you and he doesn't want to see you hurt you. He doesn't force us to do what he wants us to do. So if your creator himself will not force his will on your will, if he will not violate this law of respecting your right to make choices, then who the heck does another human being think they are to want to violate this law if your creator won't even violate this law? So this is law number one. The second law is the law of agreement. Now, the first law is the reason why I believe the law of agreement or the law of contracts is the most powerful operation of law in our human paradigm. Because your right to say yes or no is so powerful, it's so exclusive, it's so precious, it's such a powerful gift that your ability to say yes or to say no is an extremely powerful force. In fact, I'll go as far as saying whenever you say yes to another human being, your yes creates the operation of law that governs your relationship based on the yes you made. Does that make sense? I want to make sure that I'm laying this foundation before I go into what the 3 relationship habits are that I have observed in my practice in family law, dealing with corporate failures, what failed marriages, and observations that I made where people have gotten it wrong. So, if we're good on establishing this foundation, then let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at habit number 1. Habit number 1, where I see people shipwreck love: control. Control. Now, the question to ask yourself Is it really love if you make somebody give it to you? Now, keep in mind, we're going back to the Most High, right? We're going back to the design of creation, right? You have a creator, the all powerful one, the Most High, who said, you know what? I'm going to create you to be like me. In fact, I'm going to give you the power to choose to love me back. I'm going to give you the power to choose to reject me or to accept me. And I will not violate that. But what a lot of people do, a lot of people come into relationships seeking to make somebody do what they want them to do. And where many people who suffer with controlling behaviors, who demonstrate controlling behaviors, who think that they are getting what they really want by controlling someone, what they usually don't recognize is the resentment that begins to boil up in all of the people that are closest to them, because every human being resents being controlled. Why? Because we were not made to be controlled. We were not created to be controlled. We were created to exercise our power of yes and no. We were designed to operate in the dominion or the authority of our choice. And therefore, whenever a person finds themselves in a controlling relationship, one of the number one things that they will describe as their feelings about the relationship is resentment. And I don't care if you're talking about husband, wife, kids, friends, nobody wants to be controlled. And I want you to understand this from the standpoint of the violation of the law. So this is why, if you think you're going to control somebody by casting a love spell on them, you got the whole game twisted, because you're not going to make somebody love you. When someone says yes to love you, and they do so by exercising their right to choose, that's when it's love. So that's the question for you. If you're looking to do better, you're looking to deal with law from the standpoint of healing and working through your relationship contracts with your husband, with your wife, with your family. Control is the first toxic habit that has got to go. I'll also make another observation here about control from my lay perspective, just sitting back, observing people and patterns. A lot of times you see a person who has experienced a trauma, some type of really devastating loss, who will show up in a relationship seeking to control because they are trying to prevent being hurt again. They know what it felt like to be helpless or taken advantage of or mistreated or harmed by someone else. So they lean into the practice of control, seeking to avoid pain or avoid loss. But what you really do when you're controlling is you're actually hurting yourself, because you're driving the person whose love you desire, you're driving them into resentment. You're actually pushing love away when you're seeking to control. You said something about the love potions. What you said about the love potions? Most of those love potion relationships in this look, because it's a hot mess. It's not based on true love. It's based on an illegal practice. Like, so people from a spiritual paradigm will call it evil. I'm saying it's evil because it's illegal. It violates the principles of the Most High. It violates the law of creation. You can't expect anything good from an illegal arrangement. You might have a little fun for a minute, but it's going to be short-lived because of the illegality. Resentment is harsh when you get a shut up ring. A shut up ring. Oh, goodness. When you demand either marry or commit to you, a shut up ring. Hey. And here's the thing. If you think you're forcing somebody to do what they don't want to do, no one's doing what they don't want to do beyond a certain point. People will let you feel like you getting your little way. And another thing that I see with people who are with controlling spouses, again, I'm look, y'all, I'm sharing with y'all what I've seen from thousands of failed corporate failures. You think you're controlling, and this happens a lot where the wife is controlling. You think you're controlling, and he becomes passive aggressive, and he actually stepping out on you, and he is channeling his resentment in an extramarital affair because he resents the fact that you control every aspect of his life. So the one aspect of his life that you can't control, which is him stepping out, he's going to do it. And even if you catch him and catch him and catch him, he's going to keep doing it because he resents how controlling you are. The next one, habit number 2, material omissions. So I'll pull it out the lawyer words here, right, y'all? Because a material omission, like, you didn't come right out and lie, but you left out a piece of information that good and doggone well, had you revealed this particular fact, it could have been a deal breaker. And so because of your fear of loss, because of your fear of rejection, because of your fear of being by yourself, whatever your fear is, you want to leave out information that you good and well would want to know. If you were going to say yes to somebody, you would want to know this information before you gave this person your yes. And the question that you need to ask when you are leaving out very, very important facts that are tantamount to lying, is it really love if you didn't tell them the whole story? And when I was thinking about this habit, I was thinking about the medical practice of informed consent. The reason why the medical professional gives you all of this information about, well, if you take this drug, this could go bad, this could go bad. We've all seen the commercials, right? the drug is supposed to help you with a headache, but then it's like a list of 30 things that could go wrong, including, you lose sight in your left eye, all kinds of stuff, right? This is called informed consent. Why? Because you've been informed. You are aware of the risk that may be involved in saying yes to a medical procedure. And it is considered an unethical practice in medicine to perform a medical procedure on a person before you have obtained informed consent. Y'all, my biggest goal and my biggest mission for the community is that we begin to look at the power of our yes and the power of our no in ways that begin to completely change the way you interact with the people closest to you, your loved ones, your friends, even in your working relationships. When you are understanding that everything is boiling down to what I call the most powerful law that operates in our relationships, the power of agreement, the law of agreement, it is game changing if you can understand. I can't say yes. I should not say yes until I know all of the material. What is material meaning? Material means that with or without this thing, it just changes. It completely changes the whole story. So, I'm thinking of something silly, and I'm trying not to be brash. But I'll use myself as an example here. So during my pregnancy, I was informed by my GYN that I should go see a surgeon to take care of a situation that could actually threaten my pregnancy. And they scared me, right? They had me thinking, oh my gosh, I have to go deal with this because if it goes left, then I could lose my baby. So my husband and I, we went to go see the surgeon several times, and the surgeon was like, yeah, we're going to have to move fast because we have to move within a certain amount of time while you're still in your first or second trimester, whatever it was. And so we're moving quickly so that we could have a successful surgery. Well, my husband and I, we read, right? We go to do all of the pre-op stuff, like the day before surgery, you got to go in and do all your little prepare stuff. And we're reading every single piece of paper they're giving us. We're pregnant with our child. I'm going under the knife, and we need to know what's going on. Well, we find out as we're reading the documentation for the anesthesiologist, all this other stuff. And, look, I was even kind of tripping too with the anesthesia waiver, because they want you to read all this stuff that can happen to you while you're under anesthesia, including your teeth could get broken or knocked out. Right? That's not to be coming in and losing teeth. But anyway, so my husband and I, we got to talking about the paperwork that we were reading while we were waiting for the anesthesiologist. And we were both wondering at the same time. It was crazy. We were like, well, what happens to the baby while I'm under anesthesia? So the anesthesiologist comes in and we ask our question, and the anesthesiologist is like, yeah, the baby's under anesthesia too. And it really just kind of rubbed us wrong. Like the surgeon didn't really go into detail about what actually would be happening to our baby during the procedure. And we pulled the rug. We decided not to go forward, even though they were trying to scare me into having this procedure and hurry up and get it. Hurry up before your second trimester. Hurry up, hurry up. We pulled the plug and we just said, you know what? We're just going to trust and believe that this is going to be a successful pregnancy without this surgery. And we're not about to have our baby under anesthesia. And that's what we did. Why? Because the fine print had material information that turned our yes into a no. Something that we needed to know before we went through with a yes. And you know what? People come into relationships with all kind of material information that they're not sharing with somebody. And are you really receiving love when this person doesn't know what they're signing up for? When they don't realize, like you like Princess Fiona and you turn into the ogre when the sun goes down? Don't you think he may want to know that? So material omissions are a really, really bad habit. They are tantamount to lies, and they are not obtaining true love because it is robbing, it's tricking someone out of their right to say yes to you. Does that make sense? And then finally, habit number 3, emotional or factual manipulation. Nothing makes me go from 0 to 100 faster than manipulation. Because if you have to trick me out of my yes, then you're not respecting my right to say yes. You're trying to steal my yes from me by manipulating it from me. And this is a evil thing, y'all. Again, this stuff boils down to illegality of the divine right to choose, your right to free will. Every person's very special, very powerful, very divine right to enter into a yes or enter into a no, or enter into a no. And when someone comes to stir up my emotions so that I can do what they want me to do, rather than taking into consideration what I really want to do, or they come in with facts that are intended to frighten me so that they can get an intended outcome from me, they're not respecting me. And you're not respecting the people that you say you love when you practice manipulation. And this is why I'm telling you right now, this love potion stuff, this magic stuff, all these little tricks and games and stuff. Oh, you think you're gonna get what you want because you're doing circus tricks in the bedroom and all this other kind of stuff. And eventually it will not work because it is not obtaining complete and true consent. It is not obtaining the complete and true yes from another divine being who has the right to know everything that they're signing up for, who has the right to be respected in their own right and power to choose without being tricked, without being lied to, and having that general respect for their divine nature, because the Most High made us all this way. When you really think about the divine design, where the Most High made us and gave us our own will. He said, I want you to choose me, and I want to give you the right to choose me. As much as I want your love, I'm not going to force it from you. I'm not going to trick you out of it. In fact, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about me so that you can choose me. He was giving us the template for what love is supposed to look like. Love is supposed to look like me giving you all of the truth of the situation so that you can choose me for who I really am. And I don't truly feel loved, and no one feels truly loved until they are being accepted for who they really are. So all of this pretending, all of these, what do you call them? Screens, all of these filters, all of the cover up, all of the fake and the phony, and the thing you want is running away from you because you ain't keeping it real and you're not respecting the law. It don't matter how pretty you are. It don't matter how fine you are. It don't matter how much money you have. None of that stuff matters at the end of the day if you're not keeping it real and you faking the funk. Nobody even knows who you are. How are you even going to get the love that you're looking for when nobody even knows who you are? And how are you going to find true love and acceptance if you're not keeping it real? And you want to go around here, you want to do this little nasty stuff to be trying to trick people up to fall in love with you, and they don't even realize the nasty stuff you're doing, the little slick little voodoo stuff you're doing. You think that's love? No, it's a robbery, and every crime will catch up with you. And the thing is, all of y'all love potion people, all of y'all love spell people. You're not getting any younger. So the odds are not in your favor that how you looking is going to be what catches somebody and keeps somebody. It's going to have to be something deeper than that. It's going to have to be something more sincere than that. It's going to have to be something that outlives your appearance, because beauty is going to fade. And there's nothing more ugly and haggard than an old witch who's never been able to obtain anything that she really wants, thinking that she making somebody give her what she wants. She tripping herself up in her own web, and men are doing it too. I'm just calling the ladies out because we be with that la too much. It doesn't make any kind of sense. Be real. Someone who really desires to be in partnership and wants to dedicate their life to you, they gonna find out your baggage anyway. You might as well go ahead. Keep it real. You gonna trick somebody into marrying you? That was this movie. What's it? I'm gonna get you, sucker. With the dude, he kind of met a lady at the club or something, and they went to go do the grown up. And she get back to the apartment, and she started removing wigs and body parts, and he was like, "What the hell? You were finding at the club in the dark." But once we got back to the house, you turned into a transformer. Like, look, there is somebody who will love you when you keep it real. And when you develop a depth of character about yourself, develop your mind. Learn something. Develop your own way of looking at things. Get into a closer relationship with your creator. His ways so you stop violating his laws and continue to attract heartbreak to yourself, thinking you're going to make somebody love you. You are not going to make somebody love you. And a real man, a king, he doesn't care about your flaws. If he sees who you are, he sees your spirit, he sees your character, he sees your love for the Most High. Now, most men, they don't want no busted looking lady. They don't, they want their woman to be nice on the ass. But a king could care less about your flaws. So you don't have to go hiding and covering up and sneaking and lying and tricking. Because that's not love. Ask yourself, am I really getting love? Am I really getting love? When I got to make you give it to me, when I don't get a true yes from you because you don't really know me, or when I got to trick it out of you. Because if you can't answer yes, then that means you got a legal problem. The good news is that we can always do better when we know better. And that's why I wanted to teach this to you from a legal standpoint, that when we align ourselves with the laws of creation, like all of creation testifies of the mind of the creator, the mind of the most high. When we live our lives in the boundaries of truth, because he is also called the spirit of truth, which is why lying and tricking and sneaking and ducking does not work. In order for you to get love, he doesn't make us love him. He doesn't trick us into loving him. And he gave us a full disclosure of what he likes and what he loves and what he hates. And when we choose to love what he loves, we love him. When we choose to ride with what he is telling us to do and giving his instructions to us, that's how we demonstrate our love back to him. Because we don't have to do anything that he tells us to do. But choosing to say yes to him and his instruction is our act of love. I hope this makes sense, y'all. Do y'all see the legal connection? Y'all see the legal connection? I get so mad when I think about manipulation. Barrett, you start talking about somebody try to steal my yes. Ain't no faster way to piss me off. You don't want to have to debate me? Man, look, I'm tired of Decepticons. Look, we need to say no to Decepticons. Be you. If somebody's gonna love you for who you are, stop lying. But I'm hoping y'all see the legal connection. I hope that it's yes, social media is fantasy land. It's the land of make believe. It's like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory or something. I don't know what this is. But that's a conversation I wanted to have with y'all tonight. Just have a little rant. I am doing a legal training on the ways to recognize, identify how contracts work that create power struggles in marriage. That is a marriage legal training that we're doing. That description, the information of that is in the description box. But again, like I said, we will be doing more of these trainings around contract law. I love contract law, especially now that I have a deeper understanding of what it is, the gift that we were given when we were given the right to say yes. When we were given the right to say yes, we were given a beautiful and most powerful gift, which is why when two or more of us touching anything agree on that thing, it shall be done. Most powerful law in the universe, from my standpoint. And again, because of the gift, the gift of your free will. So if you are looking for lasting love, if you want to understand what habits you need to break, please, you can't make nobody do what you want them to do, but for so long before they hate you and they find little sneaky ways to get you back. And that's not love. And show your hand. If you're going to get naked with somebody, you might as well go ahead and tell them everything. You already naked. Get spiritually and mentally and emotionally naked so that they know what they're really dealing with. Because it's only going to take about a good 3 to 6 months before they find out how crazy you are anyway. And manipulation, develop a hatred for it because the Most High hates it. In fact, he calls it witchcraft, the art of manipulation. And that's why I'm calling out your love potion people, because this stuff is darkness, it is illegal, and it will lead to death and destruction of your love life. And I will call you to turn from that, break your contract with that practice, with that mess, if you want to end the destruction of everything beautiful in your life and in any hope of having true intimacy, break any contract you have with a manipulative practice such as this foolishness with the love spell magic foolishness, spookiness. It's wrong. So that's all I have for y'all tonight, y'all. I love you so much and look forward to connecting with you again next week. We'll see what kind of legal training we have. I have one that I'm going to be posting tomorrow, a little snippet about the emotional breakdown contract that a lot of marriages end up in. It's while I was doing this recording, y'all, I was almost in tears when I thought about the implication. I'll be posting that tomorrow. It's a quick little snippet of the class, but our agreement is absolutely powerful. Be more intentional, be more careful, be more aware of what you say yes to. And with that, y'all have a wonderful night, and I'll see you next time.